Welcome to Easy Sim, flying high practice landings at 4,000 feet. So today we will be going with Mr. W. Oh yes, this is for entertainment. Please find a CFI or get into a flight academy if you can. This video will not provide any sort of flight instruction. And so here we go, we're going to look at the plane, get an idea about the layout, and yes, Mr. W is going to be using the QFE today instead, and he's also going to check on the clouds and make sure that they aren't lower than 4,000 feet. I don't know, they look pretty low. Yeah, we'll see. But there's not too many, and the weather report was pretty good. They were scattered, so looks like he could dodge them if need be. So yeah, here we go. We have that. See, that aileron will lower that wing, and it's this aileron will lift it, but that is like a flap. It puts in more drag, even though it's got that to try to keep it from losing too much aileron authority, and it causes what's called adverse yaw, and it because it's more resistance, because down it's causing this wing to be pulled this way, this way. And so of course you use the rudder to turn, but then here's the flaps too. See, they do the same thing. They give it lift, and more lift, but they also give it a lot of drag and tend to slow it down. And then you have the ailerons working with it and everything too. And then of course the slower you fly, the less aileron authority you have anyway. But yeah, so there you go. So Mr. W needs to practice his landings at 3,000 feet, and he'll go up to 4,000 feet. And so he's got 2 stages of flaps in, and the plane is all ready to go. It's been fueled and it's been inspected, and everything's been pre-flighted, I should say. And so now, okay, he's going to go, and he's going to head over to the test the brakes. Okay, very good. And yeah, there he goes. He's got the altimeter set to the QFE instead of the QNH. And alright, here we are on the grass strip, getting ready to go. And that's what he wants to learn how to do. So he's going to do a soft field takeoff now. So yeah, he's going to put in power as quickly as possible and get going and pull back on the yoke as much as quickly. Airspeed is building. As you can see, it's very bumpy. And yeah, there. Get that nose wheel off there. Yeah. And then try to keep it kind of straight here on this grassy strip. And continue taking off. And yeah, so he's going to do that, and needs to let the speed build to keep it kind of level. You don't do a lot of climbing right away, and let the airspeed come up. It's up to 70 knots. That's good. And then just yeah, let the nose down a little bit so you can pick up some more speed, and then you can take out some flaps. There he goes. He's taking out 1 notch. Now this is how you have to take flaps out. This is how you undo flaps. And then once they're all up, then you can do the regular climb out. So here he goes. Now Mr. W will want to get up to 4,000 feet, so it's going to take a few minutes. He'll climb and be up at 4,000 feet in just a few minutes. Alright, here he is. He's at 4,000 feet, or just a little over. And he's going to start taking out power, and he's below 85 knots, so he's going to start lowering flaps. Although this first stage can be put in below 110 or 100, I can't remember which, but he's safe with the flaps. He's not going to ruin the flaps. And he's going to just very slowly reduce power and speed and altitude. And I'm going to start out by lowering the nose, pitching the nose down. So the nose is pitched down. You can see that because the orange wings of the bird are in the brown. They're below that white line. That's always one of the instrument checks you do. You make sure that that is perfectly in line with that white line. And yeah, watch the altimeter. It's coming down. See, oh, it's going to add some more flaps. Alright, yeah. You can. It's not 70 knots. That'd be like kind of maybe turning from base to final. And it'd be probably about this altitude doing that. And then slowing down to a little under 70. That's okay. That's allowable, especially with flaps in. You're only maybe going to land with 1 stage of flaps. You want to be very careful to keep the airspeed, or in the event of crosswinds, got to land at like 70, 75 is better, even if you're got to be up toward 80 and that, you know. But and this is also a dead smooth air day. There's no wind today, and so that's also another reason why Mr. W was able to do this. There's not as much wind today as usual, as there has been, and so now he's got a good, pretty much wind-free day to do this. And it's glassy smooth. And yeah, so it's a bit of a process. You just have to slowly reduce power and slowly let the airspeed come down. And again, he's got a pretty good, I'd say probably be on a pretty darn good glide slope right there. That's about normal. So yeah, you'd be just coming down the last couple hundred feet to get to the runway, which would be, we'll say, at 3,000 feet, be an imaginary runway. But safer landing on an imaginary runway than trying to slam into a real one. So we'll do that. And yeah, Mr. W is quite nervous about his landings anyway, but he's had quite a difficulty with the Cessna, but oh well. He's, as they say, live and learn, so he's going to live and learn. And yeah, keep taking some power out. That's normal power setting for getting close to landing, because after all, the airspeed is slow, and then you have still have the nose pitched a tiny bit down to get to the numbers. And but his difficulty is he's trying to get the nose. He wants to have the nose pitched a lot more up, so that way he just lands on the mains first and then the nose wheel. So that's what he's trying to do. He's been landing with like kind of level. Hasn't been able to flare much. Hasn't been flaring is, well, I think flaring is the being able to lift the nose up at least a desired amount, and then let that final airspeed lead off or just decay until, you know, if landing at 50 knots on a soft strip would be soft field, that'd be fine, you know, and the nose wheel's already up, and he's just not quite down to 3,000, but he's trying. And as long as he can get, as long as that vertical is at 0, which it is, theoretically he would have the nose quite a bit up, and that would be okay. And 50 knots at either a very short runway or a grassy strip would be just fine. Okay, he's gone very slow, and but yeah, it's very, very slow, so he's going to go ahead and slowly increase power. So he's putting in quite a bit of power, and yeah, he's not going to get down to 3,000 anymore, so that's okay. He's going to go ahead and slowly add power and push the yoke in a little bit, keep the nose down. I should say keep it level. It's up still, but he's letting it down little by little, and now he's going to go ahead at full power and be able to take out stages of flaps. Yep, it's already one out. Speeding up to 60. Okay, let it climb. Speed climb a little more. And he can get a little bit of a climb. He's coming up at 3,300 feet, so that's good. And he's going to try to get back to 4,000 feet. You just don't want to be messing around too much, getting too low, so okay, so he's going to continue climbing. Okay, you can start working the flaps out. This is how you undo flaps. You know, it goes faster. Okay, so over 80 knots, I think the flaps are all out, so now we can climb normally. So we can establish a nose high altitude now and climb. And it's at 80, yeah, and it shows him to do a turning climb, so that's good. So there he goes, going to start into a turning climb. Slowly and easily, just ease into it. And yeah, we'll head back to Heringsdorf. Yeah, and here he is, right up with the clouds. Well, anyway, he was very afraid when they left. He was really shaking when they left, but he's feeling better now. And see, it's not so scary up here in the clouds. And it's easy to get around them. There's not too many. So always good. So here goes. He's yeah, he's getting up there close to heading back towards Heringsdorf. So there it goes. Yeah, I've left the heading bug set. Might as well just leave it there. And yep. And doing real well, going at 90 knots. Yeah, great. Okay, quit turning and take out the bank. And okay, still climbing quite a bit. Not as much, but yeah, okay. It's gonna keep going. Well, maybe he'll go. Maybe he'll try it since he's in a clear spot with no clouds. He can maybe even go a little above 4,000 just as a safety margin. And okay, yeah, there he goes. Now I can take out the power and start dropping it down to cruise power a little bit, and then just kind of level off. And it's about almost 4,200 feet. And there it goes. It's right, straight and level flying. Okay. And pretty much right there, set at cruise power, 80 knots, so it's all good. And okay, now it's established, and now we'll go ahead and take out power. And slow down some more, keep it at 80 knots. It'll be just like you're starting out on your final, or your, even if you're in the patterns, you'd be on the last part of the downwind. And then you'd be descending quite a bit, losing quite a bit, and still keeping it around 80. And again, you pitch for speed, so you can just let the nose down a little bit, and that'll keep it close to 80. You might as well just next time it comes, he'll be able to go a little faster probably. But anyway, so here he is. He's going to kind of practice landing again just a little bit, and yeah, let's see how he does. See if we can get it down to 3,000 feet. He's going to try it one more time. He's doing real good, keeping it around 80. And, yep. Yeah, let's see, getting about maybe 76 knots now. 75. Good rate of descent. Still got the nose down. And still doing pretty good. Still over 70 knots. That's very good. Okay, there he is, right at 70 knots. And he's got still got the 30-degree notch to put in yet, so I'll do that in just a bit. It's going down a little bit low, 70. That's good. We pitch down, keep it up around 70 like I did last time we made it. There you go. Got that final stage of flaps in, and got the nose down quite a bit, but just enough to keep it at 70 knots. So it's doing real well. This would be an excellent final approach right here. 70 knots is perfect. 65 to 70 is just great. Even 75 is pretty good. 75 in a crosswind, or maybe 80 in a crosswind even, but 70 is perfect. And then we have, again, he's lucky. It's a calm air day, no wind whatsoever, just a tiny wind down at the airfield. 5 knots, nothing to speak of. So anyway, so Mr. W is continuing, and again, this is a bit of a process doing this. It's just very slowly taking out power, and yep. Alright, now it's closer to 3,000. Very good. You can, like a landing, you can start slowing down now. Start pitching up, start leveling off. Which you do, and then you start wanting to pitch the nose up. And yeah, climbing a little bit. Kind of floated there. Okay, doing the float. Oh no. Alrighty, and now he's going to get some more descent. And that's the name of the game. Get it down to 3,000 feet. And hopefully be at about 50 knots or less. And that'd be a good, yeah, there you go. High nose attitude coming up. And yeah, there. Yeah, it's just all working with pitch and power and speed and everything. And then, yep, getting nice and slow. And even getting some airspeed is decaying now. And it's okay. It's going to hit 3,000 feet. Perfect. It'd be a perfect landing right there at 50 knots. It'd be perfect. Yeah, right there. Nice and high on the nose. Try racing the nose a little bit more. Just climbing just ever so. I should cut a little bit more power, but that's alright. He's a little bit nervous about cutting power. Yeah, he's right at the end of the green, so alright, well that's good. He's got it just right about 3,000, maybe just about 20 over, and that's as slow as he possibly can go. As slow as possible. So now he's going to start adding power slowly, and keep it level, and pick up speed. Well, it's already going. It's getting a little bit higher slowly, and keep the nose down, and keep adding power slowly. And yeah, okay. There he goes. He's going up to 60. It's good. So, alrighty. And go ahead and add full power. And now we can start undoing the flaps. Bringing the flaps up. Yeah, there you go. Going to bring it up. And now good. Getting back to 70 knots. Very good. And 3,200. Yeah, good. And there he goes. Takes out some more flaps, a little bit. Okay, he's got one more to go, and he can do that safely at 80. And there you go. And now I can pick up speed. And yeah, here he is. Okay, let's see if he can use his newly learned knowledge here as practice. And let's hope he can keep that nose up. Doing very good. It's right around 70 knots, and yeah, you can play with the power a little bit, and yeah, just keep the numbers right there at the whiskey compass, just like normal. And those big white things are the aiming point for those lights. And so if he were to, one of these days when he practices his short field on this runway, he'll have to touch down like between these two rectangles, these two big white rectangles, and then preferably that should be touchdown right there, or else it's aiming in and this is touchdown. And so yeah, he's going to try to slow down as much as possible, and he's got the nose up nice and high. Okay, there goes the stall. Okay, fairly gentle. Yeah, alright, kept it off. Yeah, good, just a little bit. Not the best landing, not on the center, but oh well. So there it is, got a touchdown, and he's going nice and slow. And you'll be able to stop easily. Okay, so Mr. Dolly will continue. And we want to thank you for watching. So again, thank you for watching Easy Sim.